Okay, for 65, they want us to see whether or not 447 is a term of each sequence. So, for A, what we're looking for is whether 447 could equal 5n minus 3, where n is an integer that's greater than or equal to 1, because sequences have domains of integers that are greater than or equal to 1. So, if I add 3 to both sides, I get 450 equals 5n. And if I divide both sides by 5, right, I get 90, right, equals n. So A would be yes, right, and the 90th term, right, the 90th term. Okay, let's try B. B, would 447 work for B? So 447 equals 24 minus 5n. So again, n is limited, since they're sequences, n is limited to integers greater than or equal to 1. So we subtract 24 from both sides, right? And I get 423 equals negative 5n. And two things. One, I'll get a negative number, and two, it's not divisible by 5. So we would say no, right? No, 447 is not going to be a term in that sequence. Okay, let's try C. 447 equals negative 6 plus, and I'm going to distribute the 3n minus 3, right? I distributed that 3 in there. So we get 447 equals negative 6, and negative 3 is negative 9 plus 3n. We add 9 to both sides, so I get 456 equals 3n. And then we divide by 3, right? Divide by 3. So that gives me 152 equals n. So we say yes, the 152nd term for C. Okay, let's do D. Let me make some space. D, the 447th term equals 14 minus 3n. So we subtract 14, so we get 434 equals negative 3n. And right away, if I divide by negative 3, I'm going to get a negative number. So no, and I'd say no, 447 is not a term in that sequence. And the last one, E, 447 equals negative 8. And I'm going to distribute this negative 7 in, right? So minus 7n. Negative 7 times negative 1 is plus 7, right? So 447, negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1. So we add 1 to both sides. 448 equals negative 7n, right? And then I divide by negative 7, and I get a negative number, first of all. Regardless of whether it goes in evenly, I get a negative number. It's not part of the domain, so I would say no, 447 is not a term in that sequence.